Hey, this is René. Welcome back to another video on this channel. Recently I was asked about Fibonacci retracements a lot, so I think it is time to make a video about it. So I gotta be honest here, I do not work with Fibonacci's on a daily basis, so I'm not a pro in trading Fibonacci retracements, but as you know, this channel is all about trading and programming of trading strategies. So in this case, we will focus on the programming part, and I will write a base program pretty much, which you can then modify. So my general trading idea here was to, for example, here I took the highest price and the lowest price of the previous bar, and I then took the Fibonacci retracement object here and attached it to the last bar pretty much. So I just set the first point to the very lowest price of the previous bar and the second point of this Fibonacci retracement at the highest point of the previous bar. So if we look at a closer time frame, we will see that the Fibonacci retracement object is now based pretty much on the highest and the lowest price of the previous day. And my idea of this trading strategy is that we can then pretty much define a retracement level like 61.8 or 50 or 38.2 or in fact any other level, doesn't really matter. And we want to see the price hitting this level. For example, if we would have chosen this 61.8 level here, this would be a great entry for a short position. So this is the trading strategy. So yeah, I think let's jump right into the programming part, and we will see how we can print this object in the chart automatically using our expert advisor. So when we want to start a program, we have to click on IDE here, or we click on Tools, MetaQuartz Language Editor. This will open the MetaQuartz Language Editor that we can use to write programs. So in the upper left corner, you will find this new button. If you click it, you can click on Next and provide a name for this program. We can say Fibo Trader. Doesn't really matter what you type here as a name. You can choose the name of your dog if you like. It does not affect the program at all. It is just the name. So we click on Next, Next, and Finish. And this will automatically create the raw skeleton for every expert advisor in MetaTrader 5. There are 3 event handler functions, and they are automatically called if there is a specific event happening in the chart where the program is attached to. So I explained this a lot in previous tutorials. So in this case, to not make this like a 10-hour tutorial, we will just jump right into the creation of the object. So in this case, first of all, we should define a name for a Fibo object. We can say Fibo object, for example, and say Fibo retracement as a name for our object. And we can then go ahead and first of all, we should check if there is a new day. So to check if there is a new day, it's always a good idea to create a global variable of type integer, which you can call, for example, bars total. And then in the Untick function, this is a function that is triggered whenever there is a tick in the chart. And in the body of this function, we can place the code that has to be executed. So here we can, we can again create a integer variable and store the return value of the ibars function inside of it. So we can say we want to store the total amounts of daily bars, pretty much, of D1 bars of the current chart symbol inside of this variable. And whenever this variable or the value inside of this variable differs, is different from the bars total variable, so we can check if bars total is unequal pretty much bars, we can update the bars total variable and store the value of the bars variable inside of it. So this will make sure that we only process everything inside of this if statement once. And the if statement is a basic control structure where you have this code word if, then you have a condition in round brackets and then a body, which is only executed if the condition is true. So in this case, we only check this once per bar. So once per day, sorry. So at the beginning of every day, we then want to delete the object with this name, Fibo object, like this. So if we write it like this, there's an error, I think, because we have to provide the chart ID, which is 0 in this case for the current chart. So in this case, if we have any objects on the chart with this specific name, we will delete it at the beginning of a new day. So once we deleted the old object, we have to take care of creating the new object for the current day. So this is really easy because for the previous day, we just have to calculate the high and the low price. So we can use the IHigh function for this, and we can say that for the period D1 chart, we want to have the value of the last bar. And yeah, we can use the IHigh function for this because this returns the high value of a specific bar. And it has 3 parameters. First of all, we have to provide the symbol, and underscore symbol always provides the current chart symbol. So if we go to the MetaTrader, and if we then search for our Fibo trader and attach it to the chart, we can we will now ensure that USD Japanese yen is always stored inside of this underscore symbol variable. So we can use it like this. And then we can say that we want to have the candle of the period D1 chart. So the function will look at the daily chart, and then the shift value 1 means that we take the high value of the last bar. So shift value 0 would be the current bar, shift value 2 would be this bar, shift value 3 this, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so on. And since we want to have the high price of the previous bar, we have to provide the shift value 1. Then we can copy the line and just exchange these 2 words, because now we want to have the low value, and we can use the ILow function for this. Everything else stays the same. We store the return values of these 2 functions inside of double variables. Double variables are numbers that have a decimal point. So unlike a integer number, which is a number without a decimal point, double values can have a decimal point. So now we can already use this high and low price. And what we should also do is we should also get the time of the previous day. So we can use the iTime function for this, which is built completely the same like the IHigh and ILow function. So we can just provide a shift value to say what kind of candle we want to extract this time value from. And every bar has a time value. If you click on View Data Window, you can see the where is it? The time value pretty much here, where or the time value is a combination of the state and the current time. But yeah, I mean, it's better to look at this at the chart, and if you use the crosshair, which you can find here in the upper left corner, you will see at the bottom there is the timestamp pretty much of the bar, and you can see every bar has its own timestamp. This works in every time frame, of course. So if we receive the time of the previous D1 bar, it is this time that is written at the bottom right now. And we need a second time, and we will just choose the time of the current bar. So we can say, for example, time start and time end. And time end will be the time of the current bar minus 1, because then we subtract 1 second from this value, and this is then pretty much the ending of the previous day. And we can now use all of these information to call the object create function. This function creates an object in the chart. If you open the reference, which you can do by clicking on help, mql5 reference, and then if you click on index here, you can search for object create for the function, and you can read everything about this function. This function needs several parameters. First of all, the chart ID, and for the current chart it is always 0. Then the name for the object, and this is our name that we stored inside of this Fibo object definition here. And then the next is the object type, and we choose object Fibo. And then we have the sub window, which is usually 0 for the main window. And then let's have a look here. We provided a chart ID, a name, a type, and a window. Now we need the time and the price, and then again the time and the price. And this is why we have these 4 variables here. So we can say high and time start. Oh, it's the other way around. Time start and high, and time end and low, like this. So if we did this and compile this, this should be enough, I hope, to create a object in the chart. So let's check this. And I think it did not work. So we can maybe store the return value here and print it, and maybe print the last error. So if we compile this, we should now see additional information in the expert's journal. But there is somewhere, result like this, somewhere a problem. So if we look at a program and now open the toolbox here and click on experts, then we see there is no text output. The text output we see is from this program. So let me quickly remove this. So the Fibo trader is not working right now. Okay, I was pretty dumb here because I added the code to the Untick function, and as always, I'm recording this video on a Saturday. So of course there are no ticks in the chart, and this is why this source code is never executed. So we can fix this real quick by by calling the Untick function in the onInit function. So whenever the program is activated, we automatically call the Untick function. And now we see, there is the output, and we see that, it says that it created the object in the chart, and we have to look at if we can find this object in the chart. No, we do not. So something did not work here, I think. So let's have a look at the documentation again, and we can search for object Fibo here, and we will see a sample program for this. So I think we did everything right. We provided a chart ID, a name, a object Fibo, 0 as a subwindow, and the times. So I don't really get why. Oh, okay. I think now it worked, and it created the Fibo here. So you can see this. This is the color of this Fibo retracement is yellow. So this is not really great. So maybe we can change it here so we can see it. So we can say object set integer, 0 object or Fibo object, and we can object prop color, and we can say, for example, color red. And this should change the color to red, I hope. Oh, but this is just for the connection of the start and ending point. So we will have to change the levels, and this is a little bit complex, so we have to loop through all the levels and change the color of them. So what we can do here is we can use a for loop for this. So we can say object get integer, then we can say chart ID is 0, we have this Fibo object again, and then we can choose object property, and there is levels as a property identifier, and this will return the number of levels. And so we can loop as long as I is smaller than the amount of levels, and then we can change the color for this specific level using the object set integer function again, prop and it is level color is the identifier for this. And then we have a, I think we need the property identifier should be red, and I is the last input here. Yeah, this changes the color. But I think maybe I messed up the order here. Yeah, this is the correct order. So we can maybe choose the color black, because this looks really great with a white background. So if you look at this now, you can see the Fibo thing, the Fibo object is now created, and it starts at the beginning of the previous day. It has the highest point of the previous day here as a high point, and the lowest point of the previous day is a low point, and it ends at it should end at the last bar of the previous day. And yeah, as you can see here, this is working just fine. So yeah, I think this is really cool. So now we already learned how to print this object in the chart. And if we can open the strategy tester. You can open it by clicking Ctrl and R on the keyboard, or if you click on View Strategy Tester, and then you can click on Visualize, and you can choose a program here. And I can now choose this Fibo Trader program here. And if we have a look at this in the, I don't know, we can use the M15 chart, for example, we will see that this will demonstrate the program with historical data. We can just look how the object is drawn at the beginning of every new day. So if this loaded, we will have a look at it. So the program is now on the chart, and you can see it will draw the Fibo here for the first day. And if we speed up this program, you can see whenever there's a new day, the Fibo object will be deleted and drawn again at the end of the last day, or at the last day. Oh, and there I can already see the first problem that we see here, because this is just working if the previous day was a short day, or if it was a red candle, because otherwise we will have to turn around these values. But this is really easy. So we can just check in our source code, and let me make this a little bit bigger so you can read it properly. So we can check if the high is above the low of the previous day. And in this case, we will just turn around these values. So we can say object create here, and we say low is the first and high is the second price. Like this. And I think this should be enough to turn around the Fibo object if the previous day, if the previous daily bar was a green candle. So let's just restart this program real quick and have a look at it. Okay, there we can see it already. So you can see the previous bar here. This was a long bar, and the Fibo retracement is shown in the right direction. And oh, I think this is now. Oh, this is I did a mistake here. This was really stupid, because I cannot simply check if the high of the previous bar is above the low of the previous bar, because this is always true, obviously. So we have to check if the open price is, or the closed price is above the open price. So what we can do here is we have to calculate the open price for the previous bar, and the process is always the same. We can always use these I open, I close, I whatever functions for this. There's a function for every information or parameter of a specific bar, pretty much. So we can just check now if the close is greater than the open. And in this case, we print the Fibo object in a other, turned around pretty much. So we can check this one last time, and then we'll go on with the position with sending the position pretty much. So you can see now, yeah, if the previous day was a long day, the object is turned around, and if it is a short day, it is yeah, turned around again. So it is always the right shown in the right way. And you can see sometimes, yeah, this is not really useful, because if you have a day like this, where the bar opened somewhere, then it went down all the way and it came back pretty much all the way, then the Fibonacci retracement will not really make sense, because the next day will open pretty much at the or above the 61.8 retracement. So in this case, it would not make sense. But this is a problem that we will take care of in a second. First of all, let us summarize this program. So I think this was a little bit confusing maybe, but this is really easy. Let me explain this to you. So first of all, we define the object name, and this is always a good idea if you have an object that is placed only once in the chart. So then you can have a fixed name for this object, and you can always use this name to delete or create or change some parameters of this object. Then we have a global variable, which is bars total. And global variables are important because they are not deleted if, for example, a function is terminated. So this variable will stay alive for the whole runtime of the program. Then we have the init function, which is called if the program is activated, and there I put the Untick function call, because otherwise we will not see the result of this Untick function in the chart, because I am recording this on a weekend. And then we have this check here if we have a new daily bar, and we check this by comparing the total amount of bars with the value stored inside of this bars total variable. And if there's a different value, then we just go inside of the body of this if statement, and we directly update this bars total variable, so we can make sure that it takes one more day for this condition to be true again. Then we delete the Fibonacci object in the chart, so we are allowed to create a new object. And then we first of all calculate all the parameters of the previous bar, of the previous daily bar, like the open, the close, the high, the low, and the times for this Fibonacci object. And we can use the IOpen, IClose, IHigh, ILow, and ITime function for this. These functions are always built the same. They pretty much want a string value from you, which is just the symbol name, then a time frame and a shift value. So the function has to know exactly what candle you want to receive this value from. Then we check if the previous daily bar was a long or a short candle, and then we just use the object create function to create the Fibonacci object. Make sure that you always use this definition here, which is Fibonacci object in this case, as a name for the object, and then object underscore Fibonacci as a identifier for the object type. And you can always see, if you, for example, open these parentheses, you can see the parameters and their order. Then we provide 4 values to define the starting and ending point of this Fibonacci object, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we use this code here to change the color of the, first of all, of the object line, which starts at the first point and ends at the second point, and then we use this loop to loop over all the object levels and change the color of every single level. And this is already enough for creating a Fibonacci object that is drawn on the beginning of every single day. Now in the next step, we want to open positions, and whenever we open positions, we use the ctrade class for this. So we can include it using this line of code, and then we can for example, we can say that as an input parameter, we want a retracement level defined here. So we can say, for example, retracement level, we can say, I think it was 61.8. This will be the level where we want to open our position. And what we can do here is, once we created the Fibonacci object, we could possibly read the data from this object. So we could say we will search for the levels here and read the price of the level. But in my opinion, this is pretty much the hardest way of trading Fibonacci retracements. It would be a lot easier to just calculate it on your own. So what we can do here is we can check the entry level and we can calculate it here. So we can check if the previous day was a long day, then we just take the entry level, then we just take the highest point of the previous day and we subtract the multiplication of high minus low and retracement level divided through 100. And this is the calculation which will then have as a result the entry level pretty much. And for the other case where we have a previous day that was negative, we just add the result of this calculation to the low price of the previous day. And this is a lot easier because in this case, if we just, for example, let me comment this entry level in the chart so we can check if it is calculated correctly. Where's the program running? So in this case, we will see this should be, or in the upper left corner, we should see the value of the 61.8 level. And this is true. So I think it is a lot easier to just do the calculation than to read the information from the levels. Because if you would want to read the information from the level, you would have to use this calculation pretty much and or you would have to loop through all the levels and check if it is the level that you want to trade. So yeah, just do the calculation on your own. It is a lot easier. And we can now use this level to open positions. So yeah, I think, wait, let me rearrange this. I think we could already send the order here. So what we can do here is we can use this ctrade object or ctrade class to create a object variable, and then we can use this to create buy and sell limits. So we can say we want to create a buy limit with a lot size that we can make a input variable again, lots 0.1 for example. So we can say we want to open this lot size at this specified price. So at this entry level price. And before we do this, it's always a good idea to round these prices so you do not have any rounding issues. We can do the same for the other scenario already. So we can just provide our entry price here as a entry price pretty much. And then, wait, give me some information here for the current symbol, and we could provide a SL and a TP, and we first of all have to calculate this. So we can say SL, yeah, we could have a input for this. We can say input integer SL points, maybe 1000 points, or I mean, it doesn't really matter. The user will be able to change this since it is a input variable. So we have a SL points and TP points input variable now, and we can calculate our SL by subtracting the SL points from the entry, and then make sure to always round these prices. So we round the SL price using the normalized double function. And then we calculate the TP price. And I'm doing this really fast because I explained this in several tutorials before. So if you are not familiar with this process, check out the other tutorials on this channel and you will learn how to do this. And yeah, so now we can say SLNTP. And then we can also specify an expiration for this order. So we want to say order time specified, and now we have to provide an expiration time. And I think it is a good idea to, for example, take the we could just take or calculate the expiration time here. Expiration, we can say we want to take the opening or the time of the current D1 bar and add a whole day to it. So yeah, or we can take a let's say cancel or expiration hours multiplied with period seconds. And we can create a input variable for this, expiration hours, maybe 15 hours. So what we did here is we will calculate the expiration date time value. So we choose again the time of the current D1 bar, and this is something new, so I'm explaining this a little bit detailed. So we will have the current bar, for example, this value, and then we add a specified amount of hours to this value. So we have a input variable for this, which we should see here. Oh, I cannot compile right now. Okay, so we have this input variable, expiration hours, and there is 15. So we multiply 15 with the return value of this period seconds function. And this function always returns the number of seconds in a period. And since we provided the H1 period here, this will return the number of seconds in 1 hour. So we multiply this value with 15 to receive the expiration time. And this would be 15 o'clock at the current day. So I will demonstrate this, but first of all, we will have to provide this expiration variable here as a expiration time, and then we have a comment that we can put for this order, and this is something I do not want to do. So let me just add a print statement here real quick. By order send, like this, so we know everything worked out, and we can just copy this code for the other scenario here. So just copy it down here and exchange these mathematical operators. So you calculate the SLNTP correctly. And yeah, I think that's it. Then we just have to say that we want to set a cell limit here. And if we compile this, there we see several errors. This is because, yeah, I should name this entry if I'm working with entry later on. Like this, and now it should work. I used entry level somewhere again here. Okay, now it should work. So if we are running this program one more time in the strategy tester, you should see that it now trades the Fibonacci retracement every single day. And yeah, let's have a look at this. So we do not see a order, so there's a problem already. Oh, the market is closed. This is not really good. Oh yeah, okay. So we cannot place the order because the market is closed. So the easiest way to fix this problem is to add another condition to this if statement. We can check, for example, if time current is greater than string to time, and this is like the easiest way I think of handling this problem. We can check if it is 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes past midnight. So if we are in the new day already, and I think at this time the market should be open then, and it should allow us to open positions. So let us just check this real quick. So we can now it opens orders, and you can see the orders placed at this 61.8 level here. And yeah, there is an order which has a TP and a SL, and you can of course change the values if you change the TP or SL points value there. And whoops, I think we hit the SL there. And there is a new trade already. And you can just check it on your own PC if it is working for you. And since we also provided a expiration value, even if the order is not filled, it will be cancelled. So maybe we can find this. And we can find the case somewhere. Yeah, there you can see in the journal some order expired here. So this seems to work. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is a easy program to trade Fibonacci retracements. So the most important parts are it is not really about creating the object, because the object in the chart which we created here and here, it is just a visual component pretty much. But you can trade Fibonacci retracements, of course, without this object in the chart. Just calculate the retracement level, which is a really easy calculation, of course. This is kind of simple math. And then you can calculate all the entry, SL, and TP prices. And we here used this buy limit and sell limit function, which are part of the ctrade class, to open positions at these entry levels. And here we should say, of course, sell order was sent. And then it trades the Fibonacci retracements. So make sure to, if you want to use this program, make sure to copy the code like I've wrote it here, and make sure that you do not forget any brackets, do not forget to close your brackets or to set your semicolons on the end of every line, because this may cause an error. And this is a really easy program, roughly 80 lines of code, so it will be easy for you to copy it and maybe even modify it on your own device. I think this programming tutorial was kind of messy, sorry for that, but I usually do not plan these videos like multiple hours, so I just write the script pretty much as I go. So if you are looking for a more detailed, easier to understand tutorial, this is maybe not the best if you are a complete beginner, but check out the other tutorials, especially the first ones I created for MetaTrader 5 on this channel. So just check the channel videos and you will find super easy videos where I explain things like variables and control structures more detailed. And if you're looking for a complete course, you can also check out the website below this video, and there you can find also useful information and even free tools. So make sure to check out all the links, and I hope that you liked this video, and I hope that you were able to copy this program and maybe even modify it for yourself. So thanks for watching, and we'll see each other hopefully next time. Until then, have a great time. Bye.